Can we rent an upstairs room?
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free. Of course, most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one. Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction.
Halcyon News.
Carry on.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following.
Step lively, Miss Holcomb.
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot was untied.
Would hate for you to get left behind, or architect forbid, become lost.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction last... Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits... Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bit. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmission. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years... Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of... You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate, the more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our... Don't forget to come find old Gladys when... Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but What do you want, then? My hard-earned... That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shameful. But it won't work. No, ma'am. Go. Groundbreaker's radiators. Been neither fine nor... Miss Junlei's supposed to be getting them fixed. The board can't abide... They've always got one... But it won't work. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on... Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, but old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna Show claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make... But that's not what you wanted to talk... It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Take... Should... Anytime.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this your room? I'll just move along.
Don't look funny at the crew. Heard they...
seen you limping a bit. You all right, Mr. Vicker? Need us to slow down?
What are you implying? I am perfectly fit. My knee is just acting up.
There's no shame in being older, Mr. Vicker. Don't worry. The captain and I'll take care of you.
I need neither your advice nor your pity, young lady.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt a regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of life? Auntie Cleo, that's you. News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
The news packet had the tossball scores from Decanis. What about the rail gliding championships?
I didn't think anyone but natives followed that. Hell, I know space hammers don't even think of the sport.
So, that's a no?
More like don't know.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? I got a full line of weapon. Why, it gets you the weapon best suited for your lifestyle.
All the better for performing a little.
Self-improvement, including one's weapons.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine and a barrel heats. Only takes a bit of elbow grease and a spot of engineering. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. Ours is in engineering. You can take your new toys. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it, the originals tend to snap like plastic toys. Right here for a start. A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just...
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go? How about I stay up top? You know, keep watch. Okay? Deft hands, Cap.
Here they come. Down they go. We were destined to prevail. Impressive as all.
Hey, how'd you get back there?
don't seem to like traveling with us much.
Why in the architect's name would you say that?
It's just that you're real grouchy. Right all the time?
I'm not grouchy, I'm just irritated by inane questions.
Yeah, see, when you say it like that, it makes me wonder.
Ugh. Here we go! Fate shines on us today.
I can hear footsteps. Don't leave me here. Smells awful. Not all of it's mine. I'll die in here. Just get me out.
Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet. Thanks again. Time stood still. I was aware of nothing but the smell. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. Song is gonna have my ass for wage. What usually happens on this partially pressurized rust bucket? Something broke. Well, actually, two things broke. First, the damn toilet overflowed. When I came to clean that up... You're gonna shake me? That all? Of course. Everyone on the ship's gonna hear about this. Hell.
Were you really in jail, Mr. Max? And you were our vicar?
Yes, but as I've repeatedly said, I was assigned there as a vicar. I was not a prisoner.
I just can't believe you'd lie.
I was not lying. It had no bearing on my ability to minister to my flock, and was therefore not worth mentioning.
This is House.
I know she's in. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill. I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a... See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospitals.
What seems to be the problem? Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by. We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical... Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable. If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records. Take care.
Pardon me.
Dr. Dorset's a deft hand with a... blade. Hardly leaves a scar.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot. Sure is. You need a deft hand to straighten a busted nose, or... Of course, there's not much cosmetic improvement going on at the moment, not without my mechanicals. Where the... Sure. How do you think we keep this pile of junk in the sky? It costs bits, and a little prettying up brings in a fair... Or it would. Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be a He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get... Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates. Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come... The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their... Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between... I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start. You look out, though. The place is probably crawl... Keep... What can I... You...
Move along.
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
on rotten time. Leave me in peace. You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you? What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about... I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly lethal... Criminy. She really ain't gonna drop this, is she? Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed... Seems I've gotta do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding... Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week... Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly... 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the Blood Tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. Udam was my buyer for when I'd acquired the diamond. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to start. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back. Udam Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one.
Any word on Jessie? Let's just say she did me a favor, and now I... So, did you... Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineer.
CNP Borston Bake.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants... you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
So scary.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the board and its agents would be more content, sitting at the top of the system's food chain as they are.
You have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed. Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? Oh, Alex. There was so many... He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Ah, that's just like him. Such a... Tell me. You're quite right, of course. Best not to pry into such dismal things. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's... That's... Well, that's just terrible news. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. Now, if you've nothing else, please see... Be my... I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands. Better that than moving crates in the cargo bay. Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell? No, in fact... Best to be clear. Law, but it's miserable. My Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but deplorable conduct.
My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very loud? They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and when the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rock. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never said... As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state... Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but I don't know, Captain. Just doesn't seem right.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone practical. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her... Now, is there anything else?
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. Except being right. That's nice, too.
Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I ain't too elated about going exclusive, but it's better than winding up... You sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are...
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I... Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better than... If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. She helped me win a bet. We were on a smuggling run planetside when our point man bet me I couldn't outrun a mantisaur. And, as you can probably guess, the thing was faster than it looked. Probably would have caught me if Jesse hadn't picked it off. Yeah, but the important thing is I won the bet. You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster already. Time to play favorites, Cap. Traveling in style, are we? I'll be sure to nab a cabin with a view.
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie. We're real happy to have you.